Start.
What kind of nonsense is this?
It's a lot of nonsense.
Wise.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, welcome to another brand new episode of Untitled Nonsense. My name's Josh Fauner. I'm joined, as always, by my friends Mr. Chris Bauckham. How are you tonight, sir? Or today?
It's good in the hood.
And Mr. Andrew James. How about you?
I am doing excellent. I like the fact that you changed things up a little bit there. That was nice.
Yeah, you like a little switch up there? Yeah, that's
professional
absolutely. Right there. A little too professional for us, might be, but... So, what do we got today?
Herpes.
That's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, there we go.
Shit stays with you like luggage.
Oh, man. So, do we want to talk about Castro today, or are we going to save that for the big show?
Do we want to talk about what?
Castro.
I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm down
I'd say,
for whatever.
I think we go ahead and pick into them because we've already got a packed show. So anything we can offload is a good thing.
All right. Well, if you haven't heard, Ariel Castro, the dude that kept those 3 women locked up in the house for 10 years, he was found hanged in his solitary cell at prison, which is interesting. He kept those women locked up for 10 years in awful conditions who couldn't last a month in an air-conditioned cell.
You know, it's a terrible loss to humanity. And wait. Ariel Castro. Oh, okay, I'm thinking Ariel the Little Mermaid. And okay, never mind.
Wow. If I had a car crash sound effect right now, you bet your ass I'd hit it.
Part of me is really sad he's gone. And I feel like it's a miscarriage of justice that we let him commit suicide. For a lot of reasons, Josh. For a lot of reasons, and hear me out on this. Part of me feels like he should have had to spend his entire life in solitaire, in a box, without seeing anyone else, just to get a taste of what he put those women through. I would put my tax dollars towards that.
Fair enough.
Personally.
Now I know.
Then the other part of it, the other part of me, Josh.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this is really important because I feel very passionate about this. Kind of wanted him to go on and survive because I kind of want to see him get released to GP and then get shanked to death in the shower. Or
that wouldn't be the only thing that happened in the shower.
Yeah. Get a little gameplay for him to get to take the coward's way out. That's just a sad ending to a sad story in my book.
Now, you and I do believe that he did take the coward's way out, but as usual, Andrew has a conspiracy theory.
Well, it's not so much conspiracy theory. I do, I have said that I do believe that suicide is probably the explanation, but I also made a point.
Yeah.
All right, so I made the point that it could have just as easily been murder. That was it. Suicide is most likely what happened, but it could have easily been murder. So.
I don't think it could have easily been murder. I think there's always a possibility. It's fucking prison, but I don't think it easily could have been murder. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Anyway,
Definition of easily, I guess. Mine.
Depends on what the definition of is.
all right, Clinton.
No, not at all. Not at all. Here's the point. Okay? You're dealing with a prison, or I guess I should even say a correctional holding facility that has a budget that is consistently getting slashed. The majority of that is going to non-personnel and administrative personnel only. Their guards are not the best paid, let alone the rest of the country. So you're dealing with the bribing of 2, maybe 3 people at maximum. Not to mention the fact that this guy was basically universally hated. It wouldn't take a whole lot to convince people to, take a payoff and look the other way. And he was the only person in solitary at the time.
Well, I mean, I don't think we'll ever know for sure. So, I mean, I guess...
Right. But that's my point, is that it is the possibility of murder exists, whereas suicide is probably the most likely. The possibility of murder exists, so it'd be kind of interesting if, one or the other ended up coming in out as a for certain thing.
Well, that seems reasonable.
Fair enough, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't rule out murder. However, I do think it's fairly unlikely that it was.
Yeah, as do I. So, what else we got?
Did you actually watch Blood Simple?
No.
Damn it, Josh.
I watched a few other movies, though.
Damn it, Josh.
I haven't even looked into this movie. I don't know. Like, I'm going in blind. What the fuck is it about anyway?
It's a film noir movie.
Okay, it's a guy who hires a hitman to take out his ex-wife and her lover, and they get chased all over God's green earth because actually carrying out a simple hit is never actually simple, period.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll talk about it this weekend. We're better off talking about it on the weekend anyway.
It's the freaking weekend. I'm about to have me some fun.
Fuck yes. Greatest version of that song, Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing it on guitar.
Really?
Okay, if you say so.
You've never heard it?
I've never heard it.
Oh,
are we gonna have to have 2 music clips this weekend?
We may just. We may just. Yeah, we'll see what we can do because it's epic. He was at the Hit Record like film festival thing that they did at South by Southwest a couple years back, and it was kind of like a variety show type thing, and because I watched it live, they did a stream, and it was really cool. Anyway, what else? What else? I'm trying to think what else has happened.
How about
Sunday?
How about Coulson, Phil Coulson being alive and well after the Avengers movie?
Well, we all know that was happening.
It's kind of interesting though because what they had released prior to fairly recently was that the events of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually takes place prior to.
No, they didn't.
That was what that was the few releases I'd seen.
That was an unsubstantiated rumor. It had been said after that it was going to be post Avengers.
Okay.
I mean, they may have some flashbacks, obviously, because Joss Whedon likes to do that. It's with him being executive producer. And I'm sure he'll write a few things. His whole clique is writing for it. Mo and his brother and all that. So,
Interesting.
I'll watch it. I'm just, it's a procedural. Like even with superheroes and that kind of thing, I'm just so fucking over procedurals. As much as I love Nathan Fillion, I stopped watching Castle. They're just boring to me now. I don't know.
There you go, folks. Make sure that when you actually go for higher education, it doesn't fuck up your television enjoyment.
Yeah, that's true. I did have to stop watching CSI because of my degree.
Yeah.
No, I didn't stop watching that one. That one.
That degree. Oh god.
That one I watched for the drinking game. You've never played the CSI Miami drinking game?
I've never watched CSI in Miami.
Okay.
To play the drinking game.
Okay. Here's the thing. The writing on CSI Miami is so fucking bad.
Agreed.
You said you've never watched it.
I know how bad it is, though.
Okay. The thing about it is, in a normal conversation in this show, they'll just use each other's name. Like, they're standing there, fucking face to face, and they'll just, you know what I mean, Chris? Just exactly like this, Chris. You know,
I do
like
that
a normal
at work.
Conversation, Chris.
I do that at work with customers because people like hearing their own name, and they're more likely to tip.
Well, that's psychology. That's different than this.
That's different than just bad writing.
Exactly.
There's no psychology of bad writing.
So every time somebody uses the person's name in conversation, normal conversation that they're having conversation with, you take a drink. Now, obviously, you can't do this with alcohol because you will end up with alcohol poisoning. Seriously.
Exactly, Josh.
Huh?
Exactly, Josh.
See, I think the record on one episode was 60, believe it or not. So,
wow.
You can't do alcohol with this. Unless you want to do beer shots.
I could totally do a drinking game like that, and that would not be an issue.
Yes, Andrew, we all know about your tolerance for alcohol.
No, my concern at that point would be that I'd become an alcoholic.
So, how about PETA, coming out with this bullshit saying eating buffalo wings could affect your unborn's penis size?
Which is bullshit, because then how do you explain black dudes?
Oh, the stereotype. I mean...
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, my mom's never eaten a buffalo wing in her life. Ladies.
So what happened with you?
You fuck.
Josh Micro Penis Fodder.
That's out there now, you asshole. It is obviously not true.
You set it up. You fucking set that shit up.
You made it take a sharp left turn. You grabbed the wheel out of my hands and steered us into that fucking tree.
Oh, man. It was so... You softballed it in so fucking easily. Alright?
There's a joke about softballing it in there somewhere.
But yeah, PETA is out of their fucking minds as usual.
Well,
I'm not-
obviously, it's just another scare tactic. Obviously, there's no science behind it.
Come on. Give it to him hard, Josh.
I can. I'm softballing it in, remember? Oh, here's something in the what the fuck category. Charlie Hunnam has been cast as Christian Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey movie.
Yeah. You know what's best about that? What's best about that is I have no fucking clue who that is.
Oh, you've made a lifelong enemy. You have made an enemy, sir. I feel the animosity growing out of Josh.
It's radiating off of me. Charlie Hunnam is the star of Sons of Anarchy. He plays Jack. Of course we are. Why wouldn't we be? Are we back? Gentlemen.
No?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Something happened. The call kind of went dead. Technical difficulties, of course.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So yeah, obviously I'm particularly disturbed about this development. I don't feel the need for this to happen. It's just my personal death to fanboys moment, but in a TV sense instead of a comic sense. It really is.
Well, I mean, I think death to fanboys. It's a way of life. It's not a specific thing.
Well, I mean, as has been said, and as I originally said, and has been adopted as like the dogma of death to fanboys, it's a process. It's not the switch you flip and suddenly you're not a fanboy anymore. And I don't think I ever want the process when it comes to this ending. I don't think I ever want to be okay with Jax Teller playing Christian Grey.
Well, I mean, who gives a shit? It's not gonna.
I understand he was on Queer as Folk years ago, so the fact that I caught him at this point in his career is kind of a, it's kind of molded my idea of him as this.
But I mean, like, the other thing is he's an actor.
Right.
I mean, that's his whole fucking gig. It's playing different fucking parts.
Right. I
I'd
understand
be more happy
that,
that
but unless he's doing it for a money grab like Robert Pattinson did with Twilight, there's no excuse for it.
Hey. I'm just glad if he was an actor that I liked and want to see him do things more in the future, I would be glad he's getting a good solid work like this, And you gotta admit, this is gonna be some good fucking solid work that is gonna put a lot of zeros in his bank account.
Right. Well, I have no idea why they do that. So, in other news,
yes.
Did Chris just drop off?
I'm not sure. Yes, he did. He is being called back.
Yep, Chris just dropped off. Oh well. I kind of want to wait for him before we continue, because have you heard of Escape from Tomorrow, Andrew?
It sounds familiar. I'm trying to figure. Oh, wait, I know why it sounds familiar. You have been talking about it non-fucking stop.
Yeah, since Sundance, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It looks looking it's looking like it's actually getting a release. It is coming out. They have a poster out for it. They put a clip up on YouTube. It's actually happening, and no word from Disney lawyers. None whatsoever.
Huh.
It's strange. It's almost like they know that they would lose if they tried to sue him.
Right.
Because of fair use.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, yeah, they did film at Disney World and Disneyland, but it's kind of a transformative work. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not just straight, like, oh, we filmed them at Disney. Like, no. Like, they take the ride, they ride the rides and stuff, but, like, apparently stuff happens, like, this guy loses his grip with reality or something during the movie, from what I understand so far. It's a horror movie, which is interesting in and of itself. But apparently he starts seeing things like the princesses are escorts for rich South Korean businessmen and that kind of thing. So it's definitely transformative.
Huh. Let me ask you a question, Josh, real quick, while we've got the time to do so.
Of course.
Last House on the Left.
Yes.
Was the remake, was that actually any good?
Actually, yeah. It surprised me.
Okay, so there are occasionally some remakes that you do like.
I liked Evil Dead a lot.
Nope. Okay.
I mean, yeah, just because it's a remake doesn't mean that I'm not gonna like it.
Okay.
I do know what I'm gonna like and what I'm not gonna like, and just from aesthetics alone, I knew I wasn't gonna like Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, here's my well, at least when it comes to horror movie remakes, here's my my litmus test. Is Platinum Dunes anywhere near the project? If they are, it's gonna fucking blow. Platinum Dunes is, of course, Michael Bay's production company.
Right.
And he is the Platinum Dunes. He's the producer, executive producer on all these movies. They're responsible for the remakes of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Amityville Horror, The Hitcher, etc.
Okay.
So, and all those were fucking awful. So
you are a Michael Bay hater.
That's putting it lightly.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of the Transformers movies. I refuse to. Once again, fanboy moment.
Okay. See, when I'm able to sit down and watch a movie, I pretty much am able to watch it just for a movie, although there have been some where it's been like, what the fuck? No!
Well, see, the thing of it is, and it was a good point made to me at work the other night. I watch at least 200 new movies a year, and my friend was like, well, you just watch too many movies. You've seen it all, so it takes a lot to impress you. Whereas he's like, whereas I watch a few movies during the summer, and then whatever catches my attention, so I'm able to just sit back and enjoy it. But
yeah, well, that could very well be, actually. But the reason I was bringing this up is because, and this is probably old news, but whatever. Dennis Iliadis, I think, is the guy who did Last House on the Left remake.
Yeah.
That directed it. He's supposed to be doing the remake of The Birds.
Don't get me fucking started on the Birds remake. The
Okay.
Birds remake is Platinum Dunes.
Is it? Oh.
First off, it's Platinum Dunes. Second, I don't care who the fuck you are. You don't remake Hitchcock.
Okay.
Period. There are few directors that are completely untouchable, in my opinion. You don't fuck with their work. Hitchcock is one of them.
Okay.
The Birds remake has been in development hell for years now, because of the fact that there was such an uproar. They were trying to do the same with Rosemary's Baby, and once again there was an uproar, so they kind of shelved it. In the same way that the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was shelved for a while they retooled it, because of the uproar about the fact that originally they weren't going to be, or they were going to be aliens. Yeah. And not mutants. It was just going to be called Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't hear that?
No, I'm glad I hadn't.
Yeah. That would have been bad. That would have been a bad scene. I mean, it's bad as it is that they're doing it, and that fucking Megan Fox is playing April. But at least there'll be actual mutants. We got a few minutes left. We got 3 minutes left before the show's done. Did you have any stories you want to close the show with?
I really didn't, except for to mention one other horror movie to you and find out what you thought of it if you saw it.
Okay.
And that is Dead Girl.
Ah, yes. Dead Girl took home a #1 Joshy a few years back.
Okay, I was wondering if that was the same movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That is an amazing movie. It's not for the weak of constitution, not for the squeamish at all. But if you can get around the plot device of the grossness of it, it's an amazing film. Like, legitimately amazing film. Not just a good movie, film.
Yep.
It speaks a lot to, like, awkwardness of youth and finding your sexuality and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I highly recommend it if you got the stomach for it.
Right, and from what I understand, it really requires a true iron stomach to be able to actually watch it.
Well, I've seen a lot worse. You got to remember, I'm the king of extreme cinema here. If it's one of those movies that people can't watch because it's too fucking nasty, it's on the top of my list, or I've already seen it.
Good point.
My movie that I'm doing, here next summer is definitely inspired by the August Underground trilogy. The August Underground trilogy are a series of pseudo snuff. It's basically just found footage of this serial killer and his exploits.
Right.
But the big difference, obviously, plot points are going to be different in mine. And the big difference is August Underground doesn't really delve into the psychology of it, whereas Patchwork is heavily involved in the psychology of it and the serial killer himself. But yeah, we got 30 seconds left. We could go another half hour if you want, Andrew, or we could just wrap it here.
Might as well just wrap it here because I've been trying to get a hold of Chris for a while now and nothing's happening. We can't seem to get him.
All right. So join us on Saturday morning, 3 a.m. On the Con Artist Network for a brand new live 2-hour Untitled Nonsense. We will see you there, blogtalkradio.com/conartist.